Baz Luhrmann, director and writer of Elvis, this new movie. Elvis died 45 years ago. He was only 42, but he did so much and became like the biggest. Why do you think we are still talking and doing a movie about Elvis?
You know what? You said something that not a lot of people have said, but is like he was so young, like, and he had such a gargantuan life, like gargantuan. Like, it seemed like he died when he was 62, not 42. Like, when you think of 50s rebel Elvis, a young kid who's growing up in the black community, who's melding black and white music and jumping the race line, and the police want to put him in jail and people want to kill him. And then Hollywood Elvis, who's kind of like in a bubble, but highest paid actor ever. And then Vegas Elvis, who's caught in a trap. And then this whole plot point about his relationship with Colonel Tom Parker, who's really basically all about sell, sell, sell. And I think we're talking about him because the story's almost unbelievable. I mean, it's an almost unbelievable story. But it's also an incredibly emotional story. Yes, there's the music, and I've got classic music, I've got Austin singing in it, I've got classic Elvis, I've got guest stars, but there's the emotion and the feeling. The man, the real man, made people feel through song, and that's why we're still talking about him, because we want to feel too.
And you decided to tell the story in part from the point of view of Colonel Parker. He's like the narrator. Probably many people, I didn't know about him. No. I had no clue. No. Why is he so important in...
Well, it's a bit like, who knows about Salieri in Amadeus? If you know that film, Amadeus is Mozart. And but the Colonel was my way in, because he's the great salesman and the great sort of carnival huckster. He's arguing, don't blame me for the death of Elvis. I didn't kill him. He's going like, I know who did. So it's a bit of a whodunit. But also it helps bring on this vibe about selling versus soul. Spirit and authenticity, that's Elvis. Vulnerability, humanity. Versus, like, you know, sell, sell, sell at all cost. And those two things can work together, but when they get out of balance, then you're going to end up with a very tragic ending to a beautiful life.
Lisa Marie yesterday mentioned that she was a little bit concerned about the movie, how his father was going to be portrayed. How did you convince her that it was going to be okay?
I didn't. I only met with Lisa Marie and Priscilla very briefly, and they don't really control the estate. So, but then I wanted to connect with them more, but the pandemic kept us apart. And, you know, nothing meant more to me than the moment I would screen the movie for them. And as you heard last night, even I've experienced many things, but I was completely moved when Lisa Marie got up and said her life has been a life of disappointments about the way her father has been portrayed. And Austin Butler has channeled his humanity and his spiritual qualities, and yeah, it was very emotional, her reaction last night.
Congrats on the movie, Baz. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.